So here we are, step 4 of the 7 steps to wellness, high energy nutrition. High energy nutrition. You've heard of the saying before, you are what you eat. Well, that's partially true. Well, the first thing I want to talk to before we get into that, which has everything to do with bioavailability, is let's just define a couple of terms. Let's talk about food and poison. Here I have, straight out of the authority on the subject, I'm just kidding. This is the little manual, and by the way, if you ever want a PDF version or a take-home version of the 7 steps to wellness, let me know. We'll snail mail it to you right away. But according to what's been defined here, and this of course is from the dictionary, let's define what a food is, okay? A food is a liquid or a solid, usually of plant or animal origin, that contains or consists of essential body nutrients such as carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, or minerals, and is ingested or assimilated by an organism to produce energy, stimulate growth, and maintain life. So we could have had it life-maintaining nutrition, stimulating growth nutrition. I chose high energy nutrition. It's kind of a buzz thing with all of the Red Bull, Energy, Monster, whatever drinks that you find at the local gas station. So here we have high energy nutrition. So that's what a food is, okay? That's a food. What is a poison? A poison is a substance that causes injury, illness, death, especially by chemical means, or a substance that inhibits another substance or reaction. Based on that definition right there, based on that alone, let's be a little bit narrow-minded here for a second. If we went to the grocery store and you read on the side of a box of crackers, let's say, and let's say that you were trying to read a word that that you've never seen before, that you're trying to pronounce. You might not be an expert at reading the side panel of cereal boxes or cracker boxes or onion soup mix boxes. Based on these definitions, is it likely that chemical, and let's just call it a chemical, anything that you put into your body is a chemical. Chemicals make molecules. Molecules are either foods or they're poisons. Based on those definitions, food and poison, some of the stuff that we're putting into our body is a poison. Isn't that's pretty harsh, isn't it? That's pretty extreme. But we gotta be real, right? You're responsible for yourself. So we gotta take a look here in the mirror. We gotta pop the hood. We gotta see what's going on. We gotta see why are the wires, why is the circuits, why is my body, why is my automobile working the way it is. There's a reason for everything. There's some unexplainable stuff like genetics or ethnicity that might come into play. But for the most part, many of the cancers that heart disease that people are dying from in this country that they're not dying from in other countries is because of our lifestyle choices. These things that gradually build up over time that we could prevent with a little bit of knowledge, with a little bit of implementation based on our knowledge and using wisdom, okay? So, and I'm not saying you can't have the pizza every now and then or the corn chips or whatever, but just certainly, realize that, hey, I did this and, maybe now I got to work out a little bit harder or I got to drink a little bit extra water tomorrow or the day after, okay? Just face reality. Let's not try to hide or cover up what we are putting into our bodies if, like me, you occasionally put some of that in here, okay? The next one is bioavailability. So you've heard that you are what you eat. Well, that's not necessarily true. You are what your body can use. If you put a bunch of supplements into your body, if you put 50 of them in there, 50 vitamins, 50 supplements, okay, are you going to be 50 times healthier? No, because the food passes along like this. It can only get absorbed so much of a percentage before it gets to the end of the hose, so to speak, or the end of the filter, so to speak. All right, so there's filtration rates, there's digestion rates, everybody's metabolism is a little bit different. So it's not about what we put into our bodies, it's about what can we use of what we do put into our bodies. All right? So a bioavailability, so much of that has to do with our ancestry, like we'll be talking about here, the brand of the supplement or the vitamin that you get, that you're putting into your body, how absorbable is it? Right? The FDA, I'm not a huge fan of the FDA, but the FDA, for whatever reason, they do not regulate very well the vitamin industry. They're the Food and Drug Administration. You would think they would have some regulation over the vitamin and the supplements company, and they just don't. So a lot of these tests that come out there, research based on these different supplements, it's coming from their own marketing department. You want to look at a good peer-reviewed journal, a non-partisan, so to speak, publisher that compared this vitamin to that vitamin to this vitamin, and then took the information and said, which is the most absorbable. The most absorbable that I know of out there are from USANA Health Sciences. Shackley's is pretty darn good, and there's a couple of other ones out there. Standard Process is a very good supplement, but they don't do the third-party studies that I was alluding to earlier. They have their own kind of unique philosophy. So a bioavailability, how well are you absorbing? If you take some kind of a vitamin and then you go to the bathroom and it looks like Mountain Dew or it glows in the dark, looks like Ecto Cooler, the old Hi-C Ecto Cooler, you didn't absorb very much of it. Okay, you got yourself an expensive urine. Okay, so bioavailability. The next one is ethnicity. All right, my ancestry, I got a little bit of Polish, English, German, and Norwegian. Sorry, Mom, I paused there a little bit, I had to think. And so now I come down here to San Diego, and my ancestors probably for hundreds of years had no concept of Filipino food, fish, tofu, Mexican food, possibly corn, all these things. And now I put it into my body, and I'll have Chinese food on Monday night and then Italian on another night, and it just creates these fireworks, and it can create unhealthy situations in different people. I use myself as an example because I only know my own ancestry. But of course, what have your ancestors eaten for hundreds or thousands of years? And what is your favorite tasting food right now? Do you have certain health problems? Do you have kind of not very healthy skin? Do you feel sluggish, like you're not getting much energy? What is the food doing that you're putting into your system? Are you more alive or are you more dead? If you want to know what your nutrition is doing to you, is it more alive or is it more dead? Is it more in sync with your own genetic code? So check that out. You might get a blood test and see if you have any sensitivities, not necessarily allergies, like I'm gonna, fall apart after eating peanuts or something like that. I'm talking just under the radar, below the surface, little sensitivities that most of us have, right? Wouldn't it be shocking to discover, if you love eating chicken, that you're actually sensitive to something, to one of the phytochemicals, one of the nutrients inside of chicken? And if you backed off on that for maybe a period of time, hey, this thing in your life would just totally clear up. Wouldn't that be amazing? It's one of the most overlooked areas of nutritional science. And last but not least, of course, is organic. Of course you want to buy organic. It's usually worth the price. We're very blessed here in Southern California to have very good produce, fresh produce, farmers markets all over the place. And this is incredible. Just to put this in context, an organic tomato nowadays has about a regular store-bought tomato has about 1/8 of the lycopene that a pre-World War I or World War II American tomato would have, due to our soil just getting so messed up thanks to corporate farming and mass production and them spraying the green tomato with oxygen to make it look like it's red on the outside, even though nutrition-wise it's still only green on the inside, but they put it out in the supermarket so they can sell it anyways. So that's just an example. Here we have high energy nutrition, and make sure once again you check out the text below. I don't have time to cover every single detail, and forward this along to your friends, and I think they'll be shocked to find out some of the information that's down there and how we've been sort of kept in the dark in terms of what we're putting into our bodies. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Prior Lake Spinal Care, 952-226-7222, or email us at info@priorlakespinalcare.com.